a couple of times throughout the year, and we ping a few emails back and forth, but they're very brief. Philippe's usually one word, kisses, something like that. We have a bit of banter around the Six Nations rugby, and France are doing quite well at the moment. So you know, we kind of have a bit of banter around that. But because I've not seen him, I'd been told that his health had deteriorated. When we kind of went over for this birthday, it was joyous. It was
Oh,
it was joyful to see him and Michiko and everyone else at the school. Joyful to see how the school has developed because it's got a bit bigger since I was there. But he was okay. He seemed okay. I mean, he was a bit quieter,
oh,
perhaps a little bit less Gaulier. No. Um, he seemed a bit more calm and a bit more kind of but it was his birthday, and it was a really nice social occasion as well in the evening. So it was interesting, and the reason I mention it actually is because going back to that kind of, how's he been, and what's going to happen next, and Carlo and the school and Clown, and how does Clown live on. It we got to the end of the party, or sort of into a bit of the evening of the party. Me and Jason started looking at our watches, and it was like, right, we're going to have to head back into Paris because we don't want to miss that last train. So we're going to go and give Philippe a kiss and say goodnight. And Philippe just held my hand and he said, I want to come. I do want to come back to the UK. I'd like to come. And I was like, wow, okay, Philippe, that's amazing. We'll work hard to get it set up, not for this year, but maybe for next year. And I came back, and within 2 days, I'd sat down trying to work it out, get a space and all that kind of thing, see where a space might open up that we could do the workshop. And I messaged Michiko, and actually Michiko then let me in, gave me a bit of insight as to how Philippe's day-to-day health is. And she sort of guided me through it and sort of said, look, it's an energy thing. Like an energy and two things really, energy and hearing. And there are days when him in the room is almost counterproductive to the student, because the student asks so much of him without asking, just by being in that room. You end up with a group of disgruntled students who are going, well, we didn't get him. We didn't really get anything. He was just really quiet and lethargic. So they were doing a thing where Philippe, it was kind of almost like coming in for like the last hour, or coming in at points during the week. And Carlo had kind of started to take the lion's share of the teaching on board. And I guess that's where he is. I guess that's his age. I guess that's his, I guess that's just where he is. But yeah, moving forward from that space, and Ecole Philippe Gaulier, and what will that look like, in the coming years, as maybe he does less and less. I think they'll go through that sort of transition period now where, Carlo perhaps begins to really emerge as sort of the part
the
of the
main one.
the leading light of the school, in terms of, because I think he is the man who has spent the most time with Philippe. Aitor is another one,
Yeah.
fantastic, but I think Aitor is so sort of big in his own way now. I mean, when we saw Aitor there, I think he was there in Paris, but then he was on his way to New York, and he's a very much a sought after man in his own right. I'm not saying Carlo isn't, but I think Carlo has sort of found his way of being in the business, if you like, a lot more through the school and through that kind of teaching delivery at Ecole Philippe Gaulier. So it feels like Carlo is going to be the future of that place, really.
Mm.
I say that it's all a little bit of assumption, but that's the feeling I get. For us, as Small Nose Theatre Company in the UK, you know, there's a responsibility there, I feel, to help Philippe, Michiko keep that, you know, that the idea of Philippe Gaulier, Ecole Philippe Gaulier, and what it is, keep it going forward. And if that means that maybe next year we might try and produce a workshop in the UK that is Carlo led, but also there we bring Philippe over, that Philippe might come in, you know, as and when health allows. Then that is what we'll do. You know, it's I get it. I get that students will want to be with Philippe and all that kind of thing, but we can only do what we can with what we have from where we are, right? So it's you know, and I really do want to play my part in that, because I love the man very much. I love the school very much. I love Michiko very much. I love and Carlo as well. I would love to help, you know, hello, look, world, this is Carlo, you know, and we all know Carlo, but come on, this is Carlo now, and this is the way this is going to march forward. So we've all got to help with that. Aitor actually said something really interesting to me at the party, which is we've all got to find a way of sharing this. You know, Ecole Philippe Gaulier, Philippe's ideas, Philippe's way is all part of us. And we've got to find a way of sharing that and getting it out there. And I think, you know, sad to think of the future and what that looks like with loss and everything else. But there is definitely a part of me that wants to, play my role in sending that forward.
This does seem like the school's definitely changing, and like I heard also in that, it's going through a transition period, isn't it? And it's trying to find its new legs without Philippe as much.
Yeah, that's definitely what it sounds like and looks like, and my observations of it from afar, you know. But then Philippe's you know, he's a tour de force, and who knows what is going on in that mind of his, you know. You know, I always think it's quite funny that Philippe grabbed me, and it was like a definite lean in job, like a little secret, almost like, Mark, I will come back to UK. And in my head, I instantly went, does Michiko know that? You know, does Michiko know that? Because, you know, I sort of, you know, WhatsApp Michiko, and she'd be like, no, absolutely not. He's crazy. He's not going anywhere. His health won't allow it. But, you know, like I say, if we can make it work and we can help them in any way,
Yeah.
bless you.
Sorry.
If we can help them in any way, whatever that looks like, we would absolutely go out of our way to help them. So
No, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens at school. I mean, it's a school that's shaped a lot of things in sort of like the theatre, even the comedy world. It's really had its influence, and it'll be, especially in Edinburgh. My God.
yeah,
But it will be, let's see what happens. One little question mark. Do
go
I
for it.
get to this is the prelude before the live episode, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. Do I get to publish it on, or should I keep it a secret? This what we said so far before.
I don't think there's any secrets in there. Like, you know, I think you know, like I say, there's a lot of assumption. Just to be clear, there's a fair bit of assumption in there without asking the direct questions. Hey, Michiko, you know, what is going on with the school after Philippe's clerked it? You know, but Philippe would admire that. Philippe would love that. He would love that we're even dreaming and daring to have the discussions. So, you know, he's a massive influence, huge. You know, and for me, I think you're all right to put it in.